what's going on, guys and gals? So this particular video, we're going to be talking about the Auto EQ feature with Mixing Station Pro. Couple things I want to point out here. Warning, this feature is still a work in progress, okay? Now, I've done several tests with this. Right now, I'm going to walk you through this process, but I don't recommend that you use it, okay? The requirements, you're going to need a measurement mic and you're going to need a spare channel. And it goes through, as far as the instructions, very well on this. DevCore laid it out. David, I'm assuming, just puts everything in here that you need to know. And again, at the very end, warning, this feature is still a work in progress. So what we're going to do, before we can even talk about using this process, we need to talk about room modes, M-O-D-E-S, okay? So we're going to go ahead and jump up online, and we're going to use a room mode calculator and see what it's all about. So here we are. Now, on the dimensions, and that's what this is, it's length by width times height. So let's say that you're playing in a club that's 40 foot deep. As you can see down here, I've got this on feet and not centimeters. And let's say that it's 30 foot wide. And let's say that you have the standard 8-foot ceilings. And this is the issue, okay? Right down here. Now, what this is showing you, I'm not going to tell you all the information here. You can come up here and do your own research. Just come up here, Google room mode calculator. If you're running in front of a house, this is crucial. Because if you're in one of these null spots right here, and your microphone, that's what this reference mic is going to do. It's going to be your ears. And it's going to show you where these are to an extent. Okay? Now, if you're playing outside, you don't have to worry about this. If we come up here and we change these dimensions now to say like 2000 by 2000 by 2000, you're going to see all of this disappear. And being outside, we could put 40,000 in here. It doesn't matter. You see, there's nothing there. The only thing you're going to find is when you get into the negative side of the hertz. Okay? So, if you're at a negative 0.8 hertz, unless you're involved in the Well family, doing rock in the 7 Cs, this is never going to affect you. Okay? Again, like I said, as you can see now, all of this goes away. So let's check out our reference mics. Myself, I use the Behringer ECM 8000. It's $35. It does a wonderful job. Are there other mics out there for more money? Absolutely. Okay? Here's the Earthworks M23, omnidirectional. It's the same thing for $500. Read the description on both mics. Now, is the $500 mic better than the $35 mic? Well, that's a matter of opinion. Personally, I don't think it is, but that's just my opinion. Okay? Now, something else that we need to talk about is your PA system. If you're taking a 10,000 watt system into a room that's designed for a 1,000 watt system, you've already lost the battle. The very first thing that you need to do is put in a reference track. Bring your main faders up to unity. And then play that track and then adjust the volume on your speakers to the level that you want it at. And if you do that, and your master fader, with that 10,000 watt system, if you've got it down there around that negative 20, negative 25, you're not going to get the results out of these mixers that you should. It all works off of this unity. It's due to the 24-bit processing, okay? And that's just the way that it is. So from here, let's go ahead and jump into Mixing Station and let's walk through this process. And then when we finish that, we're going to jump into X32 Edit and we're going to look at the same process there. Okay? So here we are. So I've come to channel 2. This is my reference mic. As you can see where I'm talking behind me, it's actually picking this up. Once I turn on the pink noise, then I'll adjust the gain. I want this around that -18. This must be off. Do not have your EQ on for this channel. It's going to defeat this whole purpose. Okay? So we come up to the 3 little dots. We go to setup. We come over to signal generator. And here, our destination, we want to choose the left, right, left, right. Here, we're going to choose pink noise, and we're going to turn it on. Now, if you can hear that, it's coming using the Shure 7B. You might not be able to hear it very well, but this is what it sounds like coming through the actual mixer at this point. Okay, so now we're going to come out of this, and I'm just going to mute the main here for a second, because now what we want to do is come back to the 3 dots, and we're going to come over here to the auto EQ. Now, what is our RTA source? Our RTA source is that channel 2, because that's where we have our microphone going into. Right there. Now, at this point, I'm going to take the mute off of the mains. Right now, as I'm speaking, going to pick up a little bit of it, so I'm going to have to be silent. I'm going to, once I take that off, I'm going to click measure, and we're just going to go back and forth and see how this works. Okay? Now, at this point, I want this, I don't want this to be applied to mix bus number 1. We're going to apply this to the left and right. Okay, we're going to do it PEQ because that's what they recommended. Myself, I use the GEQ, and I'll show you why here in a second. The measuring filter, we're going to use flat, not A-weighted. That gets into a totally different type of measuring system. That's for another video. Here is our baseline. We can adjust this here. You'll see this moving up here, that line. Okay. So I'm just going to set it right here. And I'm going to say calculate. Okay. Now at this point, this is what this EQ is telling us it should be. EQ applied to left and right. Now we can turn it off. Okay. So now if we come up here, that is our EQ. As you can see, it's on now. Okay. That's a lot of difference for that pink noise. You can see it right here. So we're going to turn this off. And if you look at these dips and the highs here, okay, again, this is your baseline. And I'm assuming these are in decibels. I don't know. I don't know how DevCore did their metering on this. So again, that's how you do this feature in Mixing Station Pro. At this point now, we're going to jump over and we're going to do this using X32 Edit. Now here we are in X32 Edit, guys, and up here on the EQ, same thing, channel 2. I want to make sure this is turned off. I'm going to come up here to the monitor, the oscillator. The destination is the main left and right. We're going to use pink noise, and I'm going to start the tone. Now, keep in mind, I'm not changing any of these parameters whatsoever. Okay, everything that I'm doing here, I'm leaving just the same, just like we were in Mixing Station Pro. Now up here, my RTA source, that is the main. Channel 2, and I'm going to unmute it. See, that's why we have to have this source now. We have to have it on the mains, because now it's going to pick up this tone. Look at this line right through here. Okay, that line running right through there that's pretty flat, guys. Okay, that's not too bad for my little home office here. All my room treatment consists of heavy winter curtains with rods that come out 3.5 inches from the walls. I have a set in front of me. I use the mirror system to come to each side of my monitors. Once I see that monitor, that's where I hang that curtain. I come to the opposite side when I can see that monitor in the mirror. That's where I hang that set of curtains. And then I have a set of curtains on the back wall. Now, the reason for the 3.5 inches is you almost triple the effect of your room treatment. That audio has to go through the heavy curtains, 3 inches into the wall, bounce back off the wall, come back through the curtains, and then just keep going around that room with those reflective points, again, through the heavy curtains, 3.5 inches into the wall, back off the wall, and it just goes around and around. And that's why I'm getting this flat response that I'm getting right here. Okay? So when we come up here now, we can see how this is still generating. If I come up here now to this, look at my graph. As you can see, there is very little adjustment that I have to do in this EQ to make this just about as flat as I'm possibly going to get it inside of my little 11 by 12 office. Okay? And I mean very little adjustment. We can pull a little bit down here maybe. And that's it. Okay, that is literally all the adjustment I would do here. Okay? And that is the difference between these two systems. Now, I want to give DevCore, the proper respect they deserve. They've already stated that this is a work in progress. And I'm sure when they finally get it figured out that it's going to work fantastically. But at this particular time, I simply would not use it. Like everything else in life, it's your gig, it's your gear. You do whatever you see fit. All right? Take care, God bless, and we are out of here.